Hello, and welcome to this March Madness edition of Sports Outlet. I'm Sean Reis.
I'm Mike Battista.
And I'm Ben Zander. On this episode, we'll be discussing the NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament. We've had some friendly competition going on here at LTV with a bracket group to predict the tournament outcome. So let's talk about the standings so far. I know you're pretty excited about the standings.
Oh, you know it.
He's in first place right now, followed by Dan Hitchin, Justin Cook, me, you're right after me. Then we've got EJ, our station manager, and then we got Otto Gomez. Tell us about your bracket.
I'll start. Yeah, my bracket's not doing too hot. Not clearly as nice as my friend Battista over there. But no, it went well for the first couple of rounds, and then after that, with Duke going out, that was tough. And then Villanova, that didn't help anybody. And yeah, so now I only have one out of the final four teams, which is UNC, which I think basically everybody picked. But yeah.
So I actually chose UNC to win it all. And I'm really excited because I'm the only one left in the bracket group whose team still has a chance of winning it all. How is your bracket?
Oh, it's beautiful. Basically right now, like you guys said, I'm in the lead because of the four teams, I had Duke as my champion, which unfortunately certain things happened and certain unfair things happened. I also had UNC and Oregon. I had a good feeling about Oregon. I don't know why. I just looked at how they played in the Pac-12. They barely lost to Arizona, who was one of my favorites, to go to the Final Four. And I just said to myself, yeah, I just trust this team. They have good offense. They have a good offensive rebounding squad. And sure enough, they won a lot of tight games and made it. So I've been pretty good at getting the long runners.
My bracket was doing great at first, and then this most recent round was not very good at all. Only one of my teams, UNC, is left in the Final Four, but that's okay because I can still win. I'm sure we've all had some reactions to certain games. I was just telling you guys that for the most recent UNC game, it was UNC versus Kentucky. I was on the quiet floor of the library, and when they won, I screamed, "Yeah!" And then I looked up, and the entire floor was staring right at me. It was so awkward, but no regrets. I was excited. And Villanova, that was a shocking loss. Everyone around me was cheering for Villanova, and then when they got out, it was a really big upset for me. What about you?
For me, the tournament started off on a real sour note because, unlike Sean over here, I had Princeton going out of the first round against Notre Dame. Problem was that fate had other plans for me because New Jersey just can't get a break, ever. And I remember I was walking on the main street of my town, and I was just going for some internships and stuff. I look at my phone, oh, I should check it. I look at my phone, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. The Ivy League has to do this to me right now? They're smart, they can't do basic math and get enough baskets to win?
Right.
But it's just they start off sour. Also, I also had UCLA beating Kentucky at one point in my bracket. I had UCLA going to the round of the Elite Eight. That was just a shame for me because I really thought that UCLA could do it because I thought that they could bring a challenge. But unfortunately, couldn't happen.
I had UCLA as well, so I feel you.
Kentucky's always a team to go with because they're usually strong, but I had a feeling. Go ahead.
Yeah, as did I. That was a pretty popular pick just because Lonzo Ball is just a huge name, and especially with his dad always in the media for this entire tournament, having Twitter beef with Charles Barkley and everybody. It was absolutely ridiculous, but Lonzo Ball was one of the best players in the tournament, and everybody loved UCLA's chances. But I don't know. Kentucky was, a top contender as well, and unfortunately they fell to UNC, which might be the team to win it all. I'm not sure.
So, well, actually, that's a good point. The team that might win it all, because as we all know, I was pretty good in choosing who might win it all. You guys, no offense, not so much. So how did your picks change for the final two? I originally had UNC versus Duke. Clearly that didn't really go very well. But what about
I also had UNC versus Duke. However, I was gonna have Duke come on top. Now looking at the actual Final Four with South Carolina and Gonzaga on the left side of the bracket, I really like the Gamecocks' chances. They've had a crazy run beating like all the top teams, including Duke. That was probably one of the biggest upsets early, besides the Villanova upset. And I would not be surprised one bit to see the Gamecocks upset Gonzaga and then meet UNC in the finals for a battle of the Carolinas. That would be quite the final, I think, championship game. But who wins there, I don't know.
Right. Only time will tell. What about you?
For me right now, I was also like you guys. I had UNC Duke. It was a very popular pick. Fortunately, South Carolina had to ruin it all. So for me right now, the Final Four, I think that the Final Four, or the championship game, is going to be South Carolina, Oregon. First off, because I don't want you to beat me. Secondly, it's because once again, Oregon just keeps surprising me. It's like now that I've seen like Oregon just keep winning these really close games against Kansas, against URI. They just keep surprising me. They keep finding a way to win. They've been able to win without Chris Boucher, like since he got hurt, and they almost won the Pac-12 without him. They've got talent on there. I think that they could do it. And when it comes to Oregon versus South Carolina, I'm wearing red. That's what I got to go with them. They keep surprising me.
Nice. Well, Oregon, it's their first time in the Final Four since the
1939.
1939.
Since the first ever tournament.
Right, and that's a pretty big deal. I mean, I feel like recently we've had some pretty cool things like that in sports.
Do you know who else was in that tournament?
Who else was
Brown.
in that tournament? Really?
Yes, Brown. The team that you never hear about anymore because they're terrible.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any favorite commercials? Have you even been paying attention to any commercials? Because
Favorite commercials?
I got one.
yeah.
It's the one where the power goes out from like all the fans watching
that
the
one's
Kansas
good. The
Kentucky
Coca-Cola
game.
commercial.
Yeah, the Coke commercial.
That one's good.
Where it's like, oh, the power's out. It was like all the Kansas fans are I think it's all the Kentucky fans are just running down the street. They're going like, oh, we got all the power's out. We got to find. There's one house. And they just run up to the Kansas fan and he just goes, no. And like they go, well, we have Coke.
Yes.
That one's good.
I like the this is the Capital One commercials with all the guys with Charles Barkley and like Samuel Jackson in them.
They're funny.
One of my favorites is the one where like they're all sitting around on Charles Barkley's couch and they like clap for like the cheer for the thing, and the TV and all the lights turn off because Charles Barkley has like his whole system on a clapper, and then they like turn it back on and the game's over. And that one's great.
Do you remember the same one with the celebrities where it's just like we're eating steaks on a plane?
That's what I was going to say. That was my favorite one. He was like, where are we? We're on a plane. What are we eating? Come on, say it. We're eating steaks. We're eating steaks on a plane. And he was like, how long were you playing that one out? Oh, since Snakes on a Plane came out. So
It's stupid. I love it.
Right, yeah, so that was really funny. So we spoke a bit about the NJ teams.
Can I please go off about Seton Hall right now?
You can go off for a little bit, sure. Why
Cool.
not?
That was not a flagrant. It was not a flagrant. I don't understand how with under, I think, 30 seconds left, when you know they're going to foul, they say, oh, it's gonna be you foul and it's gonna be a flagrant. No, you know what he's gonna do. You honestly know it's not a flagrant at that point. It's just a regular 2-point foul.
No, I agree. There was two terrible calls early in this tournament, and the one hurt that Jersey team really hard. It was he's going to foul him at the end of the game. It's an intentional foul. The players are taught to do this, and you know he tripped them. It was an incidental trip, and he went down. And giving him the flagrant foul was just pretty much handing the other team the win. The other terrible call, though, I think was even worse, which is the next couple days, was the Northwestern call in the second round against Gonzaga, where this Gonzaga player blocks the ball through the net. So his hand goes through the cylinder, and this is a clear goaltending call, but they don't call it. And because they don't call it, the Northwestern player coach runs out onto the court and yells at the ref, which he then gets a technical call. And Gonzaga now has two foul shots and the ball. And it would have been a 3-point game, but instead now it's a 7-point game. and Gonzaga ended up ultimately winning that game because of that call.
They got lucky.
Yeah, overrated team. Got lucky.
Well, I'm pretty excited to see who wins in the upcoming Final Four game, and then who wins it all, because it's pretty exciting stuff. So hopefully UNC will win, and then I can get all the glory in the world. So anyway, well, that does it for this episode of Sports Outlet. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, if you would like to join Lions Television, please email us at ltv@tcnj.edu or like us on Facebook. And for information about TCNJ Athletics, go to tcnjathletics.com. For Mike Battista, Sean Reis, I'm Ben Zander. We'll see you next time.